welcome you to the NFL on CBS today from Landover, Maryland. It's week 1 in the National Football League. The Dolphins and the Redskins. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish, where available using the SAP button on your television. The kickoff is next.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
It's the 14th all-time meeting, including twice in the Super Bowl. Before we kick it off, let's bring in the third member of our crew. Downstairs to Evan Washburn.
When we met with Kirk Cousins yesterday, the anticipation and excitement for his first opening day start was obvious. But for Cousins, it's all about managing that emotion. He told us before the 5 starts last year and the hours and days leading up, he was so wired that he was exhausted by kickoff. It led to mistakes that snowballed. The question today is, when the inevitable ups and downs occur, how will he respond? Guys?
All right, Evan. Miami has won the toss, and they have deferred. They have 2 rookie kickers. Andrew Franks is the kicker. He won the job in training camp, beating out Caleb Sturgis, and Matt Darr is the punter. And it will be Franks to kick it off to Chris Thompson, who's had a tough time remaining healthy for Washington, and he gets the opportunity in the return game. NFL kickoff 2015, we're underway from FedEx Field. The touchback, Washington will have it at the 20-yard line, and Kirk Cousins leads the Redskins offense onto the field to start things off this season.
He told us yesterday that the key for him today in the passing game is to change the launch point and look for him to use quick throws off of a short drop back, and also to use some rollouts and bootlegs to get away from the pass rush. Jay Gruden very confident in the way that Cousins can throw on the move.
Adding to what Evan said, Kirk Cousins mentioned, hey, don't try to play the game at noon on Saturday. Keep your emotions in check. It's 1 o'clock Sunday, and it's Cousins leading the way. And again, Alfred Morris, 5-yard pickup to start things off behind that Washington offensive line. Let's take a look at the starters. That includes Brandon Sheriff, the rookie out of Iowa. Welcome to the NFL. You're dealing with Ndamukong Suh in your first game. Backs and receivers, Deshaun Jackson. Explosive, exciting. Last year led the NFL in yards per catch, 20.9. RG3 on the sidelines. It's a different role for him. Out of the pistol. Cousins, he connects. Working it to the outside, and Andre Roberts for a 3-yard pickup. Defensively for Miami, Cameron Wake, local product out of DeMatha High School. Wake, 100-plus ticket requests for this game. Kelvin Shepard won the middle linebacker job in camp. Toomisi gets to shift back to the outside, and Bryce McCain won the starting quarterback job over Jamar Taylor. He's paired up with the 3-time Pro Bowler Brent Grimes. 3rd and 2. Washington looking to convert. Cousins broken up, and a flag. Taylor reacting. Jackson, the intended target.
Yeah, pretty clear that Jamar Taylor.
Number 22, defense. Ball he placed at the spot of foul. First down.
You see, it's a quick throw. We talked about the fact they want to get his ball out of his hand as quickly as possible. There's the bump before the ball arrives. The left hand will knock the ball down, but you can see the body making contact way too soon.
So Taylor in as an extra defensive back, and they look to take advantage of him right away. Roberts in as a 3rd receiver. New set of downs for Washington to work in. Cousins on a give. Morris shooting through that hole to the 39-yard line. He made Rashad Jones miss the safety. Turns it into a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, good blocking up front. Sean Laval there taking 2 men, opening the hole for Morris. He has his second positive gain in 2 carries.
He's in his 4th year with the Redskins. Most rushing yards in team history through the first 3 years. Topping that of Terry Allen. 2nd and 4 now. Washington on the move. We're just underway. Cousins. A boot. The toss. Connection made. Jordan Reed. First down. Reed upfield into Miami territory. Jordan Reed, talented, but he's been injury prone, and could be a nice safety net for Kirk Cousins as he navigates his way through this starting job.
Watch the bootleg here, and it comes back to the outside, you'll find his tight end coming all the way across the formation. Really well designed by Jay Gruden and his offensive coordinator, Sean McVay.
So first down at the 49. The movement on the left side of the Washington line. Trent Williams, perennial Pro Bowler jump.
False start, number 71, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, up to that point, Ian, this has been a perfect start for the Redskins offense. Getting the ball all the way out to midfield. And we'll see how they respond to this first negative play with the offsides by Trent Williams.
Well, Jay Gruden not only focused, of course, on Kirk Cousins, but this team and building chemistry with this group. Felt that it started back in training camp and really felt that this team was starting to believe in something. Maybe outside the facility, the belief was not there. Morris. Alfred Morris sticks the helmet down and advances it 9 yards. Sheriff with a good block.
There's the cut block on Ndamukong Suh. Very effective there that time. That's the rookie, Brandon Sheriff. And that will not make Suh happy. These big guys do not like having guys chop them, but that was a legal block and a darn good one.
And Ndamukong Suh signed a 6-year, $114 million deal coming over from Detroit. They feed it to Morris again. Nothing there. He gets hemmed in. Miami was ready for it. And Koa Misi leading the charge for the Dolphins.
And this will bring up a third down, something that the Redskins were just terrible at last year, converting third downs. It was 31% in the preseason. A lot of emphasis was put on it by Jay Gruden and his staff. They converted 53% in the preseason.
Joe Philbin has talked to his Miami team, taking that next step, being tougher mentally. 7th play of the drive. This is a 3rd and 6 for Washington. 5 receiver set. Working out of the gun. Cousins, it's on time. Can he get the first down? Jordan Reed does. Good effort by Reed in his 3rd year out of Florida. Turns it into a 9-yard gain on the catch and run.
Now, Olivier Vernon is going to play pass defense on this play instead of rushing the passer. And this is just a great effort by Reed here. He breaks the tackle of Vernon. Cousins now, perfect start, 3 for 3 for 25 yards, and that huge conversion on 3rd down.
So 1st and 10. Give it up to Morris. Alfred Morris cuts it to the 2nd level. Laval, a good block on that left side. Morris, a power back and showing off his burst.
Well, it's the same old story. It's a simple handoff for Morris and a huge hole on the left side. Trent Williams, Sean Laval. It's opening a big hole as Suh takes a breather on the sideline. It's not a hot day here. It's really a beautiful day. But he appears to be a little bit winded to start this game.
The rookie Matt Jones checks in for Morris. They fake. Cousins in trouble, and he's buried. Rotating defensive lineman Jordan Phillips gets an opportunity. He's the rookie out of Oklahoma, and what a way to start his career.
Here he is right here, and he just swim move there to get to the quarterback. Great job of quickness up front by Jordan Phillips, his first NFL sack.
2nd round pick, and forces Washington now into a 2nd and long. Same old story for Miami has been not being able to stop the run. Number 24 against the run last season, allowing over 121 yards per game. Back to the ground here. Morris. Out across the 30-yard line. Koa Misi with a stop. It's a 6-yard pickup.
Now we saw the rookie Matt Jones on the previous play. They asked Sean McVay about their plans for Morris and for Jones. He said, well, we're going to go with Morris to start with, but if Jones comes in and gets the hot hand, we'll stick with him. Right now, the hot hand belongs to Alfred Morris.
Yeah, right now they have another option. Chris Thompson, a 3rd down back. Sean McVay, the offensive coordinator for Washington. 3rd and 13. Thompson gets an opportunity. Not much there. stopped after the gain of 2 by Misi, who has been all over the place for Miami.
Boy, a rather conservative ball on 3rd and 13. Jay Gruden saying, hey, we've had a good opening drive, very positive. Let's come away with at least 3 points here. Did not want to challenge the Dolphin defense, especially after Cousins was sacked on the last time he tried to pass.
So the highly accurate Kai Forbath in his 4th year from UCLA will attempt a 45-yard field goal. 24 of 27 last season, along a 49. Trying to get Washington on the board. Tress Way will hold it. Forbath knocks it through from 45 yards away. And the Redskins put up 3. Kirk Cousins leading them downfield. 12 plays, 53 yards for Washington. The 45-yard field goal by Forbath. Kirk Cousins mentioned that he expected to have first game jitters and nerves. Seemed to handle them on that opening drive.
Yeah, really a well-designed game plan. The quick throws and the positive running. Morris averaged 9 yards a carry on that drive.
The kickoff from Forbath to LaMike James. And James crossing the 20-yard line and gets buried there. He was LaMichael. He's now LaMike. LaIan and LaDan will be right back with Ryan Tannehill.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer.
This is a Miami Dolphins team that's trying to break through. They've won between 6 and 8 games in each of the last 6 seasons, and they're asking Ryan Tannehill to step up his game. On first down, Tannehill, a high throw. It's handled. The veteran Greg Jennings with the catch, hit by Robinson. Offensively for Miami, Brandon Albert is back, returning from knee surgery. Done an excellent job, was having a tremendous season last year before the injury. Jennings, you just saw him. Jordan Cameron's also another new face. So many weapons for Tannehill to choose from. Jennings heads to the sideline, and Cameron sets up as a receiver. Tannehill on a dig. Miller over 1,000 yards last year, and not much there. Trying to turn the corner. Hit down low by Keenan Robinson, the inside linebacker, as a gain of 1. Defensively for Washington, new face? Yeah, Terrence Knighton, pot roast, signed to a 1-year, $4 million deal. Linebackers, Ryan Kerrigan had surgery in May to remove bone spurs. It's the first action that he has seen. Didn't play in the preseason, and Deshaun Goldson and Chris Culliver, new faces in the secondary. Knighton mans the middle for Washington. This is a 3rd and 1 for Miami. Miller is stuffed. Jason Hatcher. Miami claims they had enough for a first down. You look at that initial spot, it doesn't appear to be nearly enough.
Yeah, a lot of burgundy jerseys on the Dolphins side of the line of scrimmage. Good penetration, especially by Hatcher.
So they'll bring out the chains here with Washington leading 3-0. Didn't get it.
Here's Hatcher right here in the middle of the team, double team here. Watch, he's going to split it. Discard the block of Brandon Albert. And then with help from his buddies there, they keep Miller from leaning forward after he makes contact with the ground. Great defensive surge. 3 and out.
And Matt Darr, his first NFL punt, rookie out of Tennessee. He beat out the veteran Brandon Fields for the job. John Denny to snap it, playing in his 161st consecutive game. That's the most in Dolphins history. Jamison Crowder to return one. This is returnable from the 13, and Crowder is buried at the 23-yard line by Michael Thomas on special teams. 56-yard punt and a 3-0 Washington lead. Your weekend starts here. Thursday night football on CBS and NFL Network. Peyton Manning and the Broncos square off with Alex Smith and the Chiefs right here on your home of Super Bowl 50, CBS Sports. Washington 3, Miami nothing. 5:49 to play in the opening quarter. Dolphins went 3 and out. Washington had 54 total yards on its opening drive. They open up with Morris and Young in the backfield. Play action. Cousins on the move. Deep ball. Shot downfield. Separation. Can't get it to Jackson. Overthrown. Brent Grimes with him, and Jackson grabbing at his leg at the end of the play.
Yeah, that's a horrible sign for him to be grabbing at his left hamstring. See that left hand there? There's a little bit of contact down the field here. Both Grimes and Jackson about the same size. And you can see as he stretches out there for the ball. That may have been where he injured his hamstring.
So Deshaun Jackson to the sideline. Morris is in there and gets the ball. Morris throwing his weight around on a zigzag move to the 28-yard line. Brought down by Kelvin Shepard. It's a 6-yard pickup for Morris.
Now Jackson, who did not play much in the preseason at all because of a shoulder injury. You can see how upset he is right now. But you use the preseason to get into football shape, but if you have another type of injury that prevents you from playing, then the legs are always the first to go.
3-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Jackson, vertical threat. One of the fastest players in the league. 3rd and 4 now. Out of the gun. Rush coming. Cousins gets rid of it. On time. Cousins to Garcon. Pierre Garcon would not go down. And a first down for Washington. He carried Jamar Taylor with him, dragging him for 12 yards total on the catch and run.
Yeah, another 3rd down conversion for the Skins. Watch as Garcon goes up high to make the catch and then breaks the tackle. If he's tackled at first contact, he doesn't make the first down. Nice feathery touch by Cousins, who was under pressure right up the middle.
So new set of downs, jump from Cameron Wake. Matt Jones gets the carry. Flag went down early.
Good call, Ian. You caught that one right away.
Offside, number 91, Kingpin. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, I'm all over it. Deshaun Jackson is on the training table, and he knew it right away. A grab at the back of his left leg.
Well, he averaged almost 21 yards per catch last year. That's the best in the NFL. That's a huge weapon taken away from Cousins.
13 catches of 40 or more yards last season, #1 in the NFL. Matt Jones, nothing there. No gain on the play. C.J. Mosley, first man there. Let's go downstairs, check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Deshaun Jackson came to the sideline, threw his helmet to the ground, obviously in pain, a heavy limp. They were working on that left hamstring, did some stretching, some deep massaging. He kept sort of putting his hands in his eyes, clearly disappointed. No official word yet. Obviously, this is still early. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. Deshaun Jackson, one of those players we talked to, he said, hey, this team's driven with all the drama that always seems to be around this squad. We can't get caught up in what everyone's saying. Cousins not on the same page with Jordan Reed. Opportunity was there. NFL Today update, JB and Boomer.
Boomer, something novel for Seattle. And that would be a punt return, JB. Here comes Kansas State rookie Tyler Lockett for the Seattle Seahawks, doing something that they didn't have happen last year for them, and that was a punt return. They take a lead over the Rams in St. Louis, 7-0.
All right, back to Landover. Ian, Dan, and Evan.
All right, JB, Boomer, thanks very much. Injured Dolphin here. It's Olivier Vernon. Vernon up on his feet. Terrence Fede will step in for him. Vernon walking with a noticeable limp. 3rd-round draft pick, local guy out of Hialeah High School in Miami. 18 sacks combined, 2013 and 2014.
Watch the block here by Andre Roberts as his left heel goes right into the thigh of Olivier Vernon.
So Fade in, second-year defensive end from Marist. He was drafted as a project, 7th-round pick in 2014. This is a 3-receiver set. No Deshaun Jackson. It's Roberts, Grant, and Garcon. 3rd and 5 for Washington. Cousins pulls the trigger. High throw. It's there! Garcon! Clean catch and a first down.
Now, great anticipation by Cousins as he sees this route develop. He lofts it softly over the defense into the void in front of the safety, Walt Aikens, and behind the corner, Grimes. Another 3rd down conversion for the Redskins. As their time of possession this first half is awesome.
Garcon had that monster 2013. Numbers took a step back last year. Issues at the quarterback position. Give it up. Morris. Great effort. Morris inside yards. 4 tough yards. Jelani Jenkins, first man there. You know, Kirk Cousins, let's talk about the mentality, Dan, because one thing that Jay Gruden said definitively, it's Kirk's team. And that just changed the whole complexion of this situation for Cousins.
Well, for a quarterback, he knows that because it's his team, he'll be able to weather the bad plays and not have to worry about getting yanked out of the game. He'll have a chance to bounce back. We'll see what happens later on. He's off to a great start, though.
Morris is stacked up. 4-yard gain once again for Morris. It's been a quarterback carousel for Washington. You go back, not just the last couple of years, going back to 1999. Look at all the names on this list as they've tried to find the guy.
16 the guys that weren't the guys.
Jason Campbell, 52 career starts. They thought RG3 was the guy. Had that incredible 2012 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Down to a minute 20 to play in the first. Give it up. Here's Thompson. Thompson, ball is loose. And the play was whistled dead. It is a hamstring injury for Jackson. His return is questionable. And now it's 4th down. What do you do if you're Washington? 4th and 1.
Now you bring in extra offensive linemen. You give it Alfred Morris in the backfield. The Redskins last season just 4 of 16 converting 4th downs. This is a long yard and a half here.
That extra offensive lineman is Ty Nseki. First year out of Texas State. 6'8", 325. Play clock winding down. And they got the timeout just before it expired. So 32 seconds remain here in the first. It's 4th and a long yard for Washington.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. And by the awarded Rewarding Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Well, they had the timeout to think about the 4th and a long one, and they've elected to send the field goal unit out. What do you think of the call, Dan?
Well, I would like to see him go for it. I don't think 6 points is going to be enough to stop the Dolphins.
Well, how about 3? Because Forbat just pushed it to the right.
That's even worse. Obviously, I mean, they've had time of possession. Dolphins have only had 3 plays on offense in a minute and 50 seconds of time of possession.
We asked Ndamukong Suh about the transition to Miami. He said it's been really smooth. Coaching staff has been terrific. I feel very comfortable, but this is still part of the process. Communicating is certainly on game day, getting used to the dynamic between player and head coach. Only 3 plays from scrimmage for Miami. They had the fewest 3-and-out drives in the NFL last year. Tannehill took ball. Incomplete. Keenan Robinson was in the area. It's 2nd and 10 now for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it appeared that it was Jason Hatcher. He's 6'6" and got his hands up in the air to deflect that, and Tannehill and the Dolphins real lucky as that ball went down the field right into the middle of about 4 Redskins. Neither of them could get to it.
Miami ranked 14th in the NFL in total offense last season, 350 yards per game. Number 11 in scoring, 24.2 points per game. Tannehill, they get Landry involved. Landry. And along the sideline, First catch for him. Robinson could not bring him down. It's an 8-yard pickup and the final play of the opening quarter here in Landover. Redskins with a 3-0 lead over the Miami Dolphins. Welcome back to FedEx Field after these messages and second quarter action. NFL kickoff weekend. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Left ankle injury for Olivier Vernon. His return is questionable for Miami as we start play in the second quarter. Washington with a 3-0 lead on the Dolphins. Miami with the football, 3rd and 2 from the 43. Tannehill packs the ball, throws, it's caught, slammed down is Landry. Holds onto the football for a 5-yard pickup. Keenan Robinson with a big stick.
Good patience by Tannehill in the pocket, waiting for Landry to clear as he came off his primary receiver. You saw his eyes shift to the right. Landry with a catch and Robinson with a takedown.
Toss it out. It's broken up. Knocked away, D'Angelo Hall. And the play is whistled dead. Rodgers scooped it up thinking it could be a live ball. But Washington sniffed out that play from the very start. Miami was moving quickly there.
And real lucky that that ball wasn't picked off because that would have been a pick six. Bill Lazor, offensive coordinator for the Dolphins. You can see the style of offense he wants to play. He wants to put his playmakers in space so they can use their athletic ability to make yardage.
Lazor, second year as the offensive coordinator. He was an assistant coach with Washington for 4 years earlier in his career. Miller runs into a crowd. 1-yard pickup right to midfield. Iheanacho combining with Kerrigan to bring him down. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. Injured Redskin, it's Duke Iheanacho, the former Denver Bronco, starting at safety. We'll step aside. 3-0 Washington in front. Duke Iheanacho being escorted off the field. They're holding that left wrist. Now the update on Deshaun Jackson, he is done for the day. Left hamstring.
The big question for Jackson is how long will he be done for the start of this season? He relies so much on his speed and quickness. Obviously the hamstring a big part of that.
Early stages, second quarter. Washington leads at 3-0 over Miami. Dolphins facing a 3rd and 9. Trenton Robinson steps in for Iheanacho for the Redskins. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Flag down. Tannehill throws. Nobody home. Penalty markers on the play.
Like the Dolphins might have moved early.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 70 is not on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So this Miami drive stalls right around midfield. And it's 4th down for the Dolphins. Matt Darr will punt it. Jamison Crowder is the return man. Crowder had 4 punt returns for touchdowns at Duke, a 4th-round draft pick. Crowder moves forward, and Darr booms this one to the end zone. Back out to the 20-yard line, a 50-yard punt, but a net of just 30. What have you seen from Ndamukong Suh so far for Miami?
Well, it's typical the way that teams treat Suh. You see an early cut block by the rookie Sheriff. Then he has to fight through a double team here. And obviously you want to run away from him, but if you do, he'll still show great hustle and track you down.
Well, for Suh, 8.5 sacks last season. That's more than all of the Miami defensive tackles combined from a year ago. And he's a difference maker. Alfred Morris tripped, no gain on the play. Suh matched up with Sheriff, and we asked Suh about Sheriff. He said, yeah, I actually saw him last year in person. I went to the Iowa-Nebraska game, and yeah, he is a guy that stood out. He was playing tackle at that point. He thinks he can be a player, but he also knows his connection with Bill Callahan, who's coaching the offensive line for Washington. Callahan was Suh's coach at Nebraska, his head coach, after Callahan was let go by the Oakland Raiders. 2nd and 10, Ryan Grant in motion, slicing through, and Terrence Fede read it well. Alfred Morris did not have much of a crease. Fede stepping in for Vernon. It's a 2-yard gain.
Well, depth is so important. We're already seeing how it has affected both teams. Redskins losing a couple of players, and Olivier Vernon for the Dolphins on the sidelines. But Fede with a couple of big plays in his stead.
And Miami's mixing and matching. Derek Shelby now in. Sue back in. Shotgun for Washington on a 3rd and 8. Cousins has the time. Throws. Lunging attempt. Pierre Garçon. First down, Redskins. The question was, did he push off? There's a flag on the play.
I think he definitely pushed off. The defensive back laying flat on his back as Garçon made that catch.
Pass interference, number 88. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Let's check out the push-off here on Grimes. Watch that right hand. He just wrestles Grimes to the ground. Great effort to make the catch, but in the wide open, pass interference against Pierre Garçon, and that pushes the Redskins offense all the way back to the 12-yard line. And we'll see how Cousins on this 3rd and really long, how they want to play it. Last time they faced a 3rd and long situation, they ran a draw play.
And Cousins looking to throw it. Steps up. Cousins out of the pocket. Fires. Oh, it's kicked off! Brett Grimes! Grimes is out of bounds. Did he get it cleanly on the sideline?
Well, we're going to watch Cousins buy time as Wake comes around the corner, forces him up to the pocket. Sue is waiting for him there. Then he throws late to the outside.
It's an interception. First down.
I think he got both feet down before he stepped out of bounds. Brent Grimes, this one holds, would be his 23rd career interception. Look at him break on that ball. Right, left foot down, right foot inbounds. That's a Miami ball at the 21-yard line for number 21.
And those are the mistakes. Deep in your own territory on a 3rd and long.
And last time they had a 3rd and 13, they ran the draw, didn't get the first down, but this turnover could be a potential killer.
They talked about the steady strides that Cousins has made, but the turnover percentage per 100 snaps is the highest in the NFL.
Well, you got to expect that, though, from an inexperienced quarterback. You're going to have your ups and downs, your good plays and bad plays. He's had a great first half until that play.
Last year he was erratic. He was solid in the first quarter. It spilled over into the second quarter, and now a turnover. Fake the pitch. Tannehill. Touch pass. Wide open. Incomplete. Deion Sims, the intended receiver.
Well, and Sims is hurt as he dove for this ball. Like he landed on his shoulder.
He's not getting up.
And maybe you can see the grass on his face mask. His head may have hit the ground first. This is just a poor throw by Tannehill, running to his left, overthrew a wide open tight end in the end zone. Watch as he comes down. Left shoulder and then the side of his head.
Deion Sims going all out. Couldn't haul it in, and now an injury.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. McDonald's, teaming up with the NFL like never before. And by Voya Financial, changing the way you think of retirement.
Back in Landover, the concern right now is for tight end Deion Sims of the Miami Dolphins, trying to make a lunging attempt at a Ryan Tannehill pass in the end zone. Sims is now sitting up. His teammates made their way over, made a semicircle around him. Now they've backed off.
Now this is a guy that goes 270 pounds, totally laying out for the ball. and lands on his left shoulder and the side of his head. Tough situation for him. He knew he was open in the end zone. He saw the ball sailing out of his reach, but still gave the effort to try to make the catch.
Tremendous athlete. He played 1 year of college basketball for Tom Izzo at Michigan State. Sims is on his feet. And now as you look deeper in this Miami roster, Dan, they've got one tight end, and it's Jordan Cameron, who is completely new, came over from Cleveland on a 2-year, $15 million deal.
And for your game plan, it changes everything, because the Dolphins like to use both tight ends.
Yeah.
They want to have Cameron in the game and Sims at the same time, as they did in the first series of plays. But now when you think about short yardage situations, who comes in as that extra tight end, obviously going to be one of the offensive linemen, but it just really handcuffs a play caller. Bill Lazor's going to have to adjust.
And add this to the equation. They don't carry an H-back or a fullback on their roster. Charles Clay was a guy that filled many of those roles.
Yes, he did, and he filled it quite well, and they were sorry to see him go. And but they felt that with Cameron coming over, he can do some of the things in the passing game. Remember, Cameron's best year was in 2013 with the Cleveland Browns. His offensive coordinator was Norv Turner, who uses the same type of system that Bill Lazor uses here in Miami. So the transition for Cameron has been a lot smoother than you might expect coming to a new ball club.
Clay is now playing for Rex Ryan in Buffalo. Cameron had 80 catches, 917 yards, 7 touchdowns in that Pro Bowl season for Cleveland. Deion Sims carted off, 12:02 mark of the second quarter. Miami has 3 receivers in the huddle. Stills, acquired in a trade with New Orleans. Jarvis Landry coming off the fantastic rookie season. And Rashard Matthews. They have 23 total yards, yet they're in a position to take the lead. They've been thoroughly outplayed by Washington here in the first half. But an interception by the 3-time Pro Bowler Grimes has set Miami up nicely on a 2nd and 10 from the 21. Tannehill hits the open man. It is Cameron. 6-yard pickup through the air. Trenton Robinson stepping in for the injured Duke Iheanacho for the Redskins.
Interesting play call by Bill Lazor, going right to his lone tight end, Jordan Cameron. Sets up a very makeable 3rd and short situation. A lot of options for Tannehill, including the read option.
Damian Williams flanks Tannehill on a 3rd and 4. Kenny Stills, the motion man. Rush coming. Pass it off to Williams. Williams with a catch. And Williams out across the 15-yard line to Sean Goldson. 2-time Pro Bowler makes the stop, and he comes up short of the first down.
Yeah, heck of a tackle here. Ball thrown just behind Williams makes it tough for him to keep his momentum to try to break this tackle by Goldson. Dolphins going to go for it here on 4th down. Again, no big fullback, no second tight end. We'll see how the Dolphins play it.
They bring Jeff Linkenbach in as an extra player on that offensive line on a 4th and 1. Williams doesn't get there. Ryan Kerrigan. Washington takes over.
Well, let's first check out the eyes of Ryan Kerrigan as he sees this ball go away from him, and then the speed to run down Damian Williams. There's a hole on that left side, but Kerrigan chases him down from behind with a tremendous effort.
Kerrigan rewarded a 5-year, $57.5 million deal during the offseason. One of the faces of this franchise. Alfred Morris. Nothing fancy from Morris. Good block from Laval up front, and a penalty marker on the play. So we'll hear from Walt Coleman.
Holding, number 86, offense. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Jordan Reed, and it negates a 14-yard rip by Morris.
And it's way outside as he grabs Brent Grimes just with one hand and brings him down. Totally unnecessary by Reed. Good acting job, too, by Grimes.
We're down to 10:20 to go in this second quarter. Give it to Morris again. Up the middle. Morris emerges from that first wave. 4-yard pickup. Send it down to Evan Washburn.
Lion, after his first interception of 2015, Kirk Cousins went to the sideline, the first person to offer any words, Robert Griffin III. Now, there was obvious frustration for Cousins, but he spent the entire series in that Microsoft Surface tablet with Matt Cavanaugh, quarterback's coach, and his offensive coordinator.
All right, Evan on a 2nd and 2. Going with the bread and butter right now, and that's the ground game. Morris fights his way for extra yardage and has enough for the first down out near the 25-yard line.
Kind of a strange game so far. 3-0. A couple of fourth downs, failures to convert by both teams. A missed field goal, missed opportunities here. The Redskins, as you said, are getting back to basics, especially coming out of their own, deep in their own end of the field.
This is a team that lost 9 games by double digits last season. 4-12 in Jay Gruden's first year as head coach. Cousins pulls the trigger and connects. Pierre Garçon. What a first half he's put together. Bryce McCain in coverage. That's 22 yards through the air.
This is not easy for a quarterback. Turn his back to the defense, fake to the tailback, and then rifle this ball over the middle to Garçon. That is perfect timing. You could see that once the Dolphins recognized the play action, they were out of position to stop that bullet.
Kirk Cousins telling us there is something powerful about being believed in. That Jay Gruden told him you can never doubt yourself no matter what anybody is saying. And Cousins has played with confidence here. 6 of 9, 77 yards. He does have the pick. Matt Jones, the rookie out of Florida. They are high on his abilities. Great first step, hard-nosed, 3rd-round draft pick from Tampa, Florida. 5-yard pickup.
You know, the interception was on a play where Cousins stepped up into the pocket, then rolled out. It was kind of an ad-lib type of plays. You can see when he gets back, decisive with the ball, with a quick release, how much more comfortable he is and more effective.
We are under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Washington holding on to a 3-0 lead on Miami. It's Jones again. Jones banged down at the 46-yard line. 3.5-yard gain there for the rookie, hit by Mitchell and Shepard. Don't miss the season premiere of TV's #1 comedy on its new night, The Big Bang Theory, Monday, September 21st, right here on CBS. This is 3rd and a long one here for Washington. Cousins, watching the game the other night, saw Tom Brady make a couple of mistakes, and it hit him. All right, nobody's perfect. Now, Brady went on to dominate the game, but just a reminder, guys make mistakes. Jones has a first down. Even the great ones have their faults.
Well, you know, there's 70 to 80 plays in a game. Even Tom Brady's not going to be perfect on all 80, but it's how you react after. And Cousins has been sharp since that interception. How about getting out in front by Morgan Moses, 2nd-year player out of Virginia? That gets the corner for Matt Jones and a big first down.
What year is this? That's the old toss sweep for Washington. And a new set of downs for the Redskins to work with. Jones spins out of trouble and turns nothing into something. C.J. Mosley couldn't bring him down. Let's get an NFL Today update. JB and Boomer.
Brandon Marshall's got something to brag about.
Well, it's not a touchdown either. It's a recovered fumble. How about this? Deshaun Gibson's going to make the interception of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Watch. Brandon Marshall strips the ball out of Gibson's hands, gives the ball back to his offense. This leads to a 10-yard touchdown run by Chris Ivory. Game tied, 7-7.
Boomer, that's a heads-up play. Back to Ian, Dan, and Evan.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Here it's Washington 3, Miami nothing. Redskins are on the move under 6 minutes to go. First half, little trickery. Jamison Crowder. Wow! Crowder hit. He got stuffed. Rashad Jones. He limits the damage to only 2.5 yards.
Well, great speed by Rashad Jones, as it looked like this play had some real potential. But look at that tackle. Good clean tackle around the shoulders here on Crowder.
Aggressive play by Jones, the veteran safety. 3rd and 3 now for Washington. 4 receivers set. Thompson in at running back. Cousins making sure everybody's on the same page. Play clock winding down. Cousins on 3rd and 3. Goes underneath. Curl by Reed. And a first down for the Redskins. Washington under control. The pacing of their offensive sets have been very good, very strong.
10 plays on this drive. That's just the second pass thrown, both completed. There's another 3rd down conversion. What a weapon Jordan Reed is on the outside. He can separate from defenders and that time break tackles to pick up the first.
And that is 10 first downs for Washington. Miami has just 1 in this first half. We're down to 4:22 to play, second quarter. Once again out of the gun, Cousins. And a short pass to Pierre Garçon. Play is whistled down after the gain of 4. Jamar Taylor over there defensively. And RG3. Concussion, second preseason game against Detroit. Multiple neurological evaluations. He was finally cleared late in the week, but was also told that he was going to be the 3rd quarterback and inactive. So Colt McCoy is the backup to Kirk Cousins today for Washington.
And McCoy played very well in the preseason himself.
2nd and 6. 2 tight ends, Reed and Carrier. Morris single setback. It's Morris. Hit from behind, and Morris has got a first down. Reed and Trent Williams with strong blocks to help the push for 9 yards.
It's fantastic first half so far for Alfred Morris, as Ndamukong Suh is going to chase him down, but not before he picks up a sizable gain. 15 carries, 81 yards now, all in the first half for Alfred Morris, and Bill Callahan's offensive line doing an excellent job of springing him for big gains.
This is the 13th play of the drive. Cousins to throw. Open man, Carrier. Banged at the sideline at the 5. 9-yard gain. Jelani Jenkins will get credit for the stop. Cousins is 9 of 12, 96 yards last season. Washington in the red zone, ranked among the lowest teams in the NFL in that category, but they're not thinking about last year. It's a new year. And maybe there's a new spirit around this team. A timeout call. We have 2:38 remaining in this first half. Miami takes the timeout.
Yeah, a smart move by Miami, because right now, talk about this long drive, Ian. It has worn out the Dolphins. In fact, they've looked worn out most of the day. They're not as sharp as you would expect them to be on opening day.
Now, considering the high expectations, considering what they did during the offseason, and the general feeling around this football team, Miami is not just being talked about as a team that could make the playoffs. Miami has been talked about as a team that could threaten the New England Patriots within the division and maybe do some damage once the postseason begins.
Well, you hate to think that they've been reading their press clippings, but so far they've only run 13 plays on offense, while the Redskins have run 36.
2nd and 1 for Washington, playing it without Deshaun Jackson. Stutter step. Morris, great effort. Morris to the goal line. It's a 1st and goal for the Redskins.
Well, he's going to get a lot of help from his offensive line here initially, and then at the end to try to get him into the end zone. You can see the push from behind. Trent Williams, one of those pushing him. But the momentum right now is really on the side of the Redskins.
Redskins have gone with power. Morris slammed down in the backfield by Jones. Big play by Jones, a loss of 2 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Washington is knocking on the door. They've got a 3-0 lead on Miami. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of the season debut of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. Verizon Halftime Report. 2nd and goal for Washington, 2 minutes to play. First half. Cousins, moving pocket, throws, end zone, nobody home. Ryan Grant in the vicinity. It's 3rd and goal for the Redskins.
Ndamukong Suh almost get to the quarterback here. Cousins really had nothing in the back of the end zone. Brent Grimes doing a good job shadowing Ryan Grant.
17th play of the drive. Washington did not have a 17-play drive all of last year. Their longest was a 14-play drive. 3rd and goal. Redskins trying to add to their lead. Cousins, timing right on a fade. Reed's there. Touchdown, Washington.
Yeah, he's working against Rashad Jones, the weak safety. Reed at 6'3", takes this high pass. A lot of contact here as Rashad Jones just backpedals and goes down. That is not pass interference against Jordan Reed. That's just unfortunate for Jones to get his feet tangled up.
So the Washington Redskins now in front 9-0 on Miami. Cousins to Reed for the first touchdown of the season. 17 plays, 88 yards. The 33-yard extra point is good from Kai Forbath. Washington up 10-0 on the Dolphins. Kirk Cousins with a strike. RG3 supported for the Redskins. He's 3rd string here.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cialis and by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Kirk Cousins leading this Redskins offense. Scoring drives, 12 plays, 53 yards, a field goal, 17 plays, 88 yards, and a touchdown for the tight end lead. Forbath kicks it off. It'll be a touchback. LaMike James not in a position to return it. Week 1 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football, doubleheader on ESPN. So it's Jordan Reed giving Washington its first touchdown of the season. And with 1:49 left to play in this first half, Miami still looking for points. Dolphins with a 1st and 10. Tannehill. Open man. Jordan Cameron. Ryan Tannehill delivers 27 yards, and Hall is slow to get up for the Redskins. The veteran D'Angelo Hall.
Beautiful throw by Tannehill right in the void there in the secondary, and you can see the collision there. Redskins have already lost Duke Iheanacho to injury in the first half in the defensive backfield.
Looked like D'Angelo Hall took a shot to the ribs. Hall is heading to the locker room, or at least for now, stopping at the trainer's table. David Amerson steps in for him. Remember, Washington's already down a corner. Bashad Breeland, 1-game suspension related to marijuana possession back in 2014. He would have been the slot corner On first down, Tannehill finds the soft spot and hits Greg Jennings with a flag down at the 39.
Yeah, going to be roughing the passer.
Personal
Chris
foul,
Baker.
rubbing the passer, number 92. Defense hit the quarterback low. 15 yards, first down.
And you can't hit the quarterback below the knees. And that's exactly what Baker does, is he's trying to get to the quarterback. It looked like it was intentional, just that his momentum carried him to that point. And after the reception of about 10 yards, you add another 15. Dolphins in field goal range already and looking for more.
Remember earlier, Deion Sims was lost, being evaluated for a concussion. His return is doubtful for Miami. So Jordan Cameron, who will set up in multiple spots on the field. This is a four-receiver look on a 1st and 10. Tannehill has the time. Tannehill steps up. Tannehill devoured Jason Hatcher. It'll go down as a sack and a loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, big play by Jason Hatcher. He's had a couple so far, but look at the receivers. You can see that the double team there on Jarvis Landry. That's where Tannehill wanted to go initially.
We're down to 1:07 to go in this first half. 2nd and 11 now for Miami. Tannehill out of the pocket. Tannehill on the move. Flex one. Incomplete. He had Kenny Stills open.
Well, that's 2 throws now that Tannehill has missed on big plays. The one that Deion Sims got hurt on, and now this one to Stills. That's inside the 5-yard line there, trying to keep his feet down in bounds, trying to make the catch with the ball sailing wide on Tannehill because he was rolling out to the right.
Ryan Tannehill signed a 6-year, $96 million extension. Validation from the organization that they believe in Ryan Tannehill to lead this offense. Right now they're just hoping that he can lead them to some points on a 3rd and 11. Tannehill, it's on time, and it's Stills. Flag is thrown at the 25 on the far side of the field. This is a Washington Redskins team that led their opponent by 10 points only twice all of last year.
Hands to the face, 29 defense. The penalties decline. Play results in a first down.
So it'll just go down as a clean catch and a first down on that 12-yard play.
Well, here's Culliver working against Greg Jennings. There you can see he grabs the face mask. I'm not sure why they don't add this penalty on to the play, but it was refused.
Joe Barry in his first year as defensive coordinator of the Redskins. Trying to see if this unit can hold up with 50 seconds left. Tannehill skies one over the head of Cameron, incomplete.
That was a good throw away by Tannehill, because even though Jordan Cameron's 6'5", the coverage on him was absolutely perfect. There was no advantage at all for Cameron to try to go up and make the alley-oop catch.
So Bill Lazor's offense faces a 2nd and 10, 46 seconds remaining in this first half. 10-0 lead for Washington. Dolphins were in this area earlier and they were stopped on a 4th and 1. Tannehill from the gun. Fires. Complete inside the 5 to Cameron.
Well, we've seen Tannehill really fire a couple of balls on this drive, and he has to squeeze this one in to Cameron. Cameron going to hook at about 12 yards down the field, just enough for the first down, but watch the fastball here. Comes out with a beautiful spiral right in front of Amerson. Remember, Amerson taking the place of D'Angelo Hall. Looked like he suffered a rib injury earlier on this drive.
Trent Robinson is in for Duke Iheanacho, who left earlier as well.
Well, with Miami with a timeout to work with, they have a lot of options here. But right now, the guy with the hot hand is Jordan Cameron. At 6'5", we've already seen the Redskins split out Jordan Reed and catch a touchdown. We'll see what the Dolphins do with number 84.
Miami's got 94 total yards in the half. 77 of those have come on this drive. First and goal. Fake the pitch. Tannehill looking. Tannehill throws back in the end zone. Incomplete. Into double coverage. Jarvis Landry tried to make an acrobatic play, but Emerson was there defensively for Washington.
Yeah, it's a bootleg, and they were trying to get Jordan Cameron free, and Landry is the outlet receiver, but look at the athletic ability of those two athletes there. David Emerson and Jordan Landry floating in air, trying to intercept or to catch that ball for a touchdown.
Second and goal inside the 5 for Miami. 32 seconds to play, first half. Out of the gun. Tannehill throws it in stride for the touchdown. Rashard Matthews. Miami is on the board, late stages of the second quarter.
Well, the protection is perfect for Tannehill. Nobody near him. Clear viewing of his receiver, Matthews, in the end zone. You can see Emerson struggling to catch up here. Great move. It looks a lot like Julian Edelman in the Super Bowl last year, didn't it? Little fake to the inside and then spinning quickly to the outside against single coverage.
Well, Rashard Matthews quiets the crowd. And here is Andrew Franks, the kicker out of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, with the extra point. So Franks has his first point as an NFL player. That's a 9-play, 80-yard drive for the Dolphins, and it's now 10-7 Washington.
Well, Kirk Cousins, after the interception, has bounced back nicely for the Redskins. You can see what he's done here in the first half, 10 of 14 for 100. Well, finding Garcon there, this was the interception to Grimes, but after that throw, he was 5 for 6. The one incompletion was a throwaway out of the back of the end zone, and he capped it all off with that high lob to Jordan Reed.
So Redskins will have 27 seconds to work with, and a 3-point lead over Miami. Thompson, the return man, and it is Andrew Franks kicking it off. RPI, you're familiar with RPI, yes?
Well, anything that's a polytechnic and an institute, that must be one of those brainiac places.
What's their nickname?
The Fighting Terriers.
No, that's an excellent guess. The Engineers. They are the Engineers.
Of course they are.
Of course they're the Engineers. The Fighting Engineers.
Easy now. Calm down.
10-7 lead for Washington. And Franks kicks it off. Backpedaling, Thompson takes him through the back of the end zone. Washington will have it at the 20. And a reminder that coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower, the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of the season debut of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up. Verizon Halftime Report. So Kirk Cousins, 2-7 in his career as a starter, getting the opportunity to not just win this job, but hold on to this job. Tight formation. Washington not going to take any chances. Takes a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half at FedEx Field. The Redskins leading the Dolphins 10-7. Miami will have the football to open up the second half here in Landover. Let's go downstairs. Evan Washburn with Joe Philbin.
Well, Coach, what did your offense do that last drive that it didn't do up to this point in this game?
Made a lot of first downs. We protected the quarterback well on that possession, and we were in a 2-minute mode, got up to the line of scrimmage, ran some plays, threw and caught the ball well, and protected the quarterback.
They have nearly 100 yards on the ground. What do you need to do defensively to stop the run?
That's the biggest thing. We got to do a better job tackling. We got to get off blocks. We haven't been able to really get them in long yardage situation. They've been doing a good job on normal down and distance, and they've been keeping us off balance.
Coach, I appreciate the time.
All right, Evan, thanks.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. We've hit the half. The Washington Redskins leading the Miami Dolphins 10-7. We'll come back to Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Getting you ready for second half action. Washington leading Miami 10-7 at the break. Right now, let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. Late stages of that second quarter. Tannehill to Matthews. Good timing and teamwork.
Yeah, great move by Matthews on the outside. The slant fake and then back to the outside. And Tannehill right on target.
If you are Joe Philbin and Jay Gruden, Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, by the way, you feel good about where your respective teams are at the break?
Well, I think for Gruden, he has to feel happy. They run the ball. They've controlled the line of scrimmage and the possession clock. And for Miami, they've got to be lucky they're only down 10-7 because they've only had one serious drive, that being at the end of the first half.
Big story coming in, of course, Kirk Cousins getting the opening day start for the Washington Redskins. Matched up with Ryan Tannehill, multi-million-dollar man for Miami. 10 of 17, 96 yards and a touchdown for Tannehill. Cousins, 10 of 14, 100 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
Yeah, and after the pick, he bounced back, and that's what it's a big question for Jay Gruden. How would he handle the adversity of a bad play? Well, on the touchdown drive where he capped it off with a pass to Jordan Reed, completed 5 out of 6 after the Grimes interception. That's bouncing back positively.
Miami gets the football to open up this third quarter. 50th season in Miami Dolphins history. 8-8 last year. They were 7-5, then struggled down the stretch, just like they did in 2013. LaMike James, the return. Oh, he loses the football! James crossed the 25, and the ball just popped loose.
Knocked it out of his own hands with his left knee.
And Miami fortunate to recover.
Watch the ball hit his left knee, and the ball goes up in the air. And how lucky are the Dolphins that the Redskins couldn't haul that one in. It looked like initially the Redskins had the ball at the bottom of the pile.
So LaMike James avoiding potential early third quarter disaster. Last season, 51 points scored on first possession of the second half, most in the NFL. In that first half, Lamar Miller just 3 carries. Fake it, Tannehill. A laser beam. Tannehill connects with Matthews. DeAngelo Hall there defensively. He's back in for Washington. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, and according to Jay Gruden, it's going to be more of the same offensively. Until they can stop the run, they're going to stick with it. I asked them if they need to take some shots to keep the Dolphins honest. He said without Deshaun Jackson, that's a bit tougher. You saw DeAngelo Hall with that tackle. He's going to try and fight through that rear injury, and obviously he was extremely pleased with what Kirk Cousins was able to do. He responded. Let's see in the second half.
Evan Jackson out with that hamstring injury. Here's Tannehill. Slides down, but he was a runner there. And Keenan Robinson was looking for a big hit. It's a 3-yard pickup for Tannehill.
It's the read option. First time we've seen it today. And Bill Lazor does not want to make a steady diet out of this. You see, as a runner, these defenders have the right to punish the quarterback. That was a good legal hit by the Redskins there, and not much of a gain for Tannehill.
Tannehill, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL the last 3 years, 139 sacks the last 3 seasons. Out of 2nd and 7, Tannehill offline. Jordan Cameron, the intended target. Cameron was looking for a flag on Trenton Robinson, who has stepped in for the injured Duke Iheanacho for Washington.
Really positive for the Redskins secondary to get DeAngelo Hall back. As it appeared he had a knee to the ribs and was treated at halftime.
We asked Jordan Cameron for his scouting report on Tannehill, their first year together. He said Tannehill is detail-oriented, smart, competitive, first one in, last one out every day, and he makes the right reads. They believe in him. 3rd and 7. Spread it. Jordan Cameron over the shoulder grab. Tannehill floats it upstairs, and Cameron gets it done.
Well, I think the Dolphin fans are going to like watching number 84 throughout the season. Just a little wheel route there as he gets behind Hammers. Or check it, that's behind Robinson. Beautiful catch.
Miami moving quickly here. Tannehill throwing underneath. Jarvis Landry trying to create after the catch. He's forced out on the perimeter.
He just got to love this effort here. Ball slightly overthrown. He's got to lay out, make the catch, protect himself as he goes to the ground with his left hand. He sets up the Dolphins in real good shape to start the second half.
Cameron played basketball at BYU before transferring to USC. He's basically a receiver that just happens to be 6'5", 260. Second and 4, Deion Sims is officially done for the day. Tannehill, fake it. Tannehill throw, and it's dropped by Matthews. Little glance by Matthews, and just tapped his chest to indicate that's on him.
Well, I think so. Watch his head, though. Ball comes in. He's going to just turn his head slightly before he made that catch. He knew he had something going there, at least the first down.
So instead, it's a 3rd and 4 for Miami, trailing 10-7. Excellent drive to open up this second half. LaMike James fumbled the football, but Miami recovered on the kickoff return. Tannehill in trouble. Tannehill. Oh, he loses the football. Scooped up. Still free. Bouncing around like a pinball. Washington's got it. Jason Hatcher, the first man in on Tannehill. Redskins recovered. Miami was in field goal range, and then things went sour.
Yeah, Preston Smith, the rookie out of Mississippi State, the second-round pick, pops the ball loose, and then here's your pinball game, Ian. Looked like the Dolphins had a shot at it. Looked like the Redskins had a shot at it. Bottom of the pile's the guy that started all, Preston Smith.
Preston Smith, a college defensive end at Mississippi State. He dropped 15 pounds and playing linebacker at 271. The knockaway and the recovery. Washington gets it back.
And in the preseason, Smith had 13 tackles and a pair of sacks. So he gets his first NFL sack, a strip, and a recovery.
Washington lost Junior Gillette, a player they thought was going to be a major factor for them. Alfred Morris goes down hard. Loss of 2 on the play.
Morris had an outstanding first half. But that first play, you can see maybe the Dolphins have made some type of adjustment because they were getting gashed up front by Bill Callahan's new offensive line.
They lost Gillette to a season-ending Achilles injury. And this is a 2nd and 12 now for the Redskins. Take it. Rush coming. There in deep drop. Set it up to Darrell Young. Breaks one tackle, and Young is brought down at the 42 for no gain. A lot of work, nothing to show for it. Kelvin Shepard there to finally wrap things up.
Well, the bootleg's not going to work if on your first rushing play you get stuffed in the backfield. They tried that same type of action, and the Dolphins were all over it, forcing Cousins really deep and only having the outlet of his fullback, Darrell Young.
Last season, Washington 30th in the NFL on 3rd down conversions. They are 6 out of 9. This is a 3rd and 12. Hoping Crowder can create. He cannot. Taylor stares him down after the open field tackle, and no gain on the play. The Miami defense getting it done.
Yeah, really quick reaction by Taylor on the perimeter. That was asking a lot of the receiver to catch a hitch pass right at the line of scrimmage and expect him to break a tackle and pick up all that yards. So the penalty or the fumble by Tannehill apparently is not going to hurt the Dolphins, although it took him out of field goal range for sure.
Washington punting it with Tress Way, special teams captain. Jarvis Landry is deep. Landry comes over, ranges to make the catch, and then a little spin move takes it to the 13-yard line. His words after the tackle, 34-yard punt, a 5-yard return. Miami gets it back in a 3-point game. If one pill could make you a genius, what would you do? Don't miss the series premiere of Limitless, Tuesday, September 22nd, only CBS. Washington 10, Miami 7, 10:14 to play in the third. Dolphins take over deep in their own territory. Throw made. Matthews takes a shot from Perry Riley Jr. Learned a lot from London Fletcher, our colleague over at CBS Sports Network when Fletcher was a part of the team.
That's a crossing route for Matthews. And ball thrown behind him. If the ball's out in front, Riley may have been able to dislodge it with that big hit.
2nd and 4, Landry is the motion man. Miller in the backfield, they'll pitch it to him. Miller, nice cut. Miller's got a first down. Out across the 25-yard line. Miller did not have more than 20 carries in a game once last season. This is a contract year for Lamar Miller. He's coming off a career year. Excellent speed. He ran track at the University of Miami. 4th-round pick. Only 4 carries so far today, Dan.
He averaged 5 yards a carry last year. And, of course, that 97-yarder shows the power and the speed he possesses.
First down, trying to get Landry out of the slot area. And Landry is brought down across the 30. We have an injured Dolphin on the play.
Yeah, a couple. Landry a little slow getting up.
And it's Brandon Albert.
You see that huge knee brace on his right knee.
He is coming off surgery, torn ACL. Was playing at a Pro Bowl level last year. Albert walking off on his own, and we'll step aside in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. AT&T, DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together. And by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Left tackle Brandon Albert injured on the play. Jeff Linkenbach steps in for him. Jason Fox, normally the backup there, is out with a concussion. This is a 2nd and 6 for the Dolphins. Tannehill in trouble, and Tannehill is dumped. Back of the 25-yard line. Combination of Kerrigan and Baker for Washington.
3rd sack of the afternoon. 2nd here in the 2nd half against Tannehill. Just a real good pressure by 4 men up front. Tannehill having to hold the ball because of the coverage in the secondary. Redskins were able to drop 7 to give him no options.
So issues the last few years protecting Ryan Tannehill. The other question marks for Tannehill, throwing the deep ball. 3rd and 11. Tannehill. It's caught. There were 2 defenders in the area. And it's Greg Jennings who comes up with it.
Went right through the hands of Chris Culliver. Culliver, if he makes this pick, he might score with it. He read this ball all the way, breaks on it, and the ball goes right through his arms, right to Jennings.
Chris Culliver signed from San Francisco to a 4-year, $32 million deal. He had 4 picks last year, and that should have been an INT right there. But Miami comes up short of the first down.
It was going to be a foot race between him and Greg Jennings to the end zone, too, if Culliver had been able to hang on.
Matt Darr averaged 42.2 yards per punt as a senior for the Volunteers of Tennessee. And whistles blow this play dead before it even starts.
Delay a game.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Washington up by 3. Brandon Albert appears to be okay along that Miami sideline.
Yeah, I don't think it was a knee injury. I think he might have just had his bell rung slightly as he took a knee to the helmet.
Rookie punter, rookie return man, Jamison Crowder. High punt. Crowder backpedaling. Flag is thrown. Crowder brings it in at the 6. Crowder wheeling back the other way. Crowder gets a block and hit at the 20-yard line by Spencer Pazinger on special teams. But penalty marker, 63-yard punt, a 13-yard return. 4 penalties against Washington today, 3 against Miami. Miami's actually gone 31 straight games with 7 or fewer penalties. That's the longest current streak in the NFL. So Walt Coleman will check with Jay Gruden, see what he wants to do.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team. The gunner went out of bounds and now come right back in immediately. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
So add 15 to the spot of the ball. And Kirk Cousins will get the opportunity to navigate this Washington offense. They've got a 3-point lead in the third quarter against the Dolphins. NFL kickoff weekend 2015. Landover, Maryland, here at FedEx Field, which opened up in September of 1997, right off the Beltway. Washington with a 10-7 lead on Miami and a penalty to open up this drive. Morgan Moses jumped on the right.
Number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Second-year right tackle out of Virginia. It's a football town. They love this team, and it's been embarrassing over the last 6 out of 7 years. Last place in the division. A lot of changes in the offseason. Front office, coaching staff, personnel. 84th season in franchise history, going back to the Boston Braves in 1932. Cousins to the outside. Garcon picking up the slack in the absence of Deshaun Jackson. Let's get an injury update from Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, Brandon Albert was examined for a concussion. He's available to go back in this game, and it brings to light the concussion protocol here in 2015. He was examined by the team physician, but also an unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant. Now, the way this works is they do an initial test here on the field. If they feel like you can pass that, he's back in the game. If not, he's back in the locker room. Albert's back on the field and has his helmet.
And Dolphins lost Deion Sims to a concussion earlier. Chris Thompson on the carry. Rashad Jones spills him out after the 7-yard gain.
There's Ndamukong Suh trying to get that penetration and the quickness and speed of Chris Thompson running away from the big fella.
6 years, $114 million, $60 million in guaranteed money. He said it came down to 4 teams that he was considering, although he didn't give us the final 4. It was Miami ultimately that he decided to make the move from Detroit. Cousins is sacked by Cameron Wake. Out of a shotgun, Wake. And a flag thrown on the far side of the field.
Yeah, in the secondary, which had nothing to do, but they're going to call holding here, and it's probably going to be against the Dolphins, negating that sack by Cameron Wake.
Holding, number 22, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Jamar Taylor called on the hold.
That second penalty against Taylor this afternoon. This one's really a killer. You see, he's just grabbing the jersey there all the way down the field. But how about asking Chris Thompson to come all the way from the other side of the formation and try to block number 91, Cameron Wake? That's not going to happen very often.
From Prince George's County, here in Maryland, DeMatha High School, 20 minutes from FedEx Field. Over 100 ticket requests here today. Cousins timing left. Caught by Reed. Kirk Cousins drops it in the bucket.
Here's Jordan Reed. Now watch him work his way down the field and catch this beautiful touch pass. This takes a lot of confidence out of a quarterback. But you can see the linebackers. Jenkins is turned to his back to the quarterback. Jenkins and Reed played together at Florida, and you know they know each other very well. Great read by Cousins.
And Washington is on the move again. Cousins 14 of 18, 131 yards, a touchdown and a pick. On the ground, Morris to zigzag. Out of bounds. Once again, Washington has gone on a long drive. 6-yard gain by Morris. He can run through tackles. That's 5'10", 225 pounds. And a Pro Bowler twice in his career.
A 6th round pick. out of Florida Atlantic. And sometimes the lower drafted guys give you a little bit more effort, and nobody gives more effort than Alfred Morris.
This is a 2nd and 4 now for Washington. Counting down to the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Play clock is down to 1. Cousins pump. Cousins underneath. Carrier gets stamped by Misi. No gain on the play.
Now you saw Cousins pump the ball to the outside. He wanted to go deep to Jordan Reed, but the Dolphins played it perfectly. Brent Grimes did not go for the hook and go move by Reed.
So Wake back in for Miami on a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, Cousins is 6 out of 7, 49 yards, a touchdown and a pick.
Hey, Greg!
Play clock ran out. Timing was off.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's a tough situation. Cousins letting the play clock go down, and the play clock in clear sight at each end of the field. Play coming in a little bit late. Cousins a little bit frustrated. Instead of 3rd down and 4, he's facing a little bit longer now. That cuts down on your number of plays that you can run in this situation.
We'll call it a 3rd and 9 now. 10-7, Washington leading. From the gun, Cousins out of the pocket. Cousins throwing on the move. It's a strike to Garcon. Flag thrown. Garcon was looking for that marker. And a penalty marker at the 25-yard line. Morgan Moses shaken up on the play.
Well, he doesn't have his helmet on, and I know he didn't take it off himself. This might be the penalty. Hands to the face where...
It looks like his left eye is having a tough time opening that left eye.
Pass interference, number 86, offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That was a pick play is what gets called here. Jordan Reed is going to come from the right side of the screen here and just pick Jelani Jenkins here. That allows Garcon to get free and pick up the apparent 1st down. But now watch top of the screen.
Whoa. The head doesn't go that way.
And guess who? And Ndamukong Suh.
So they're still dealing with the Morgan Moses injury. Ty Nsekhe will step in at right tackle. Washington's injuries today. Jackson out, hamstring. Iheanacho, wrist. D'Angelo Hall returned from the rib injury. Moses, IR last year. Liz Frank injury, that foot injury, cost him his rookie season. He was a left tackle at Virginia. He's playing right tackle here with Washington, with Trent Williams solidified and one of the leaders of the team on the left side of the offensive line. So it is Nsekhe out of Texas State. 3rd and 19 now for Washington, moving in the wrong direction. From the gun, Cousins, safety valve to the outside. Catch made by Thompson, and the penalty marker back at the 49.
They're going to get Nsekhe for holding on Cameron Wake. And if he doesn't hold him, Cousins is going to get drilled.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So Wake continues to wreak havoc.
Yeah, there's holding all over this offensive line there. You can see Sean Laval, but the Nsekhe also took down Cameron Wake on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
We've had 25 yards in penalties, and we haven't had an actual play. This is a 3rd and 29 now. They're back near midfield. 2:22 to go in the 3rd. Give it up to Morris. They'll get back some of that yardage. And Miami forces him to the sideline, and he's out of bounds.
All those penalties took the scoring opportunity away from the Redskins. They moved themselves back so far, they're out of field goal range.
And in no man's land, you have to punt the football here, but this is not the way that this drive appeared to be headed. Washington was moving the ball well. Jarvis Landry, the return man. Tress Way, who averaged 47.5 yards per punt as a rookie last season, now in his second year from Oklahoma. Up in the air, Landry is not going to get there, and the ball bounces into the end zone. Miami will have it at the 20, 37-yard punt, a net of 17. Miami trailing Washington by 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fruit of the Loom. They test their products so you know they work. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yesterday in the rain, Greenbelt, Maryland, Eleanor Roosevelt High School hosted Laurel High School Roosevelt. A winner, 38-0. And now a Sunday afternoon in Landover. Week 1 of the NFL season. Tannehill with his team down by 3. Makes the connection with Jarvis Landry. And Landry just not going down. Landry continues to fight. Trent Robinson was trying to jar the ball loose.
And all that effort got him a first down. Unbelievable. Extraordinary effort here by Landry. He catches this ball. He's short of the first down by about 2 yards. 3 Redskins trying to keep him from the first down marker. He doesn't quit. Picks up the first down. Awesome.
Move the chains for Miami out across the 30-yard line. Running play to Miller. Miller right through the hole. And he's got another first down for the Dolphins. 11-yard gain. Mike Pouncey, the Pro Bowler up front, creating space.
Up to that point, he had 4 carries for 9 yards. So Dolphins offensive line finally finding a way to get Miller loose and into the secondary.
And Dan Brandon Albert is back in for Miami on that left side. We're down to 48 seconds to go in the third. Miller flanks Tannehill. Miller, lot of space. Miller stutter step down the sideline, chewing up yardage. Lamar Miller for 17. Pouncey and Douglas combining.
Well, let's check out Pouncey. One of the most athletic centers in the NFL. Watch him initially take the block there and then use his speed to get out front. And along with Douglas, 2 real solid running plays in a row for the Dolphins.
And some signs of life for this Miami offense. Mixing things up. Final play of the quarter, potentially. Just get the snap off. Tannehill fires it. Wide open Landry. And a first down to end the third to the tune of 20 yards through the air. Washington's got the lead at the end of 3. Miami's got the momentum. And we go to the fourth from FedEx Field. 10-7. Redskins leading. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Look at the leaders today. Miami against Washington. Tannehill 196 yards and a touchdown. Cousins a touchdown and a pick. Miller just 6 carries, 38 yards. Morris is knocking on the door for 100. Cameron leading the way for Miami in the receiving category with Garcon stepping forward for Washington. First play of the fourth quarter. Redskins lead at 10-7. Tannehill slings it, almost intercepted by Robinson. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver.
This is 2 balls now that the Redskins have not been able to haul in. This ball goes right through the hands of Robinson as Kenny Stills was the intended receiver. And Tannehill's lucky that one wasn't picked off. Tannehill in the third quarter was 8 of 10 for 100 yards even. And almost had a disaster on his first pass of the fourth.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Landry, the motion man. They'll give it to him. Landry makes a cut. Landry's got an angle inside the 10. First down for Miami.
This is a jet sweep. A lot of colleges run this play. And when you've got a guy with the speed and the strength of a Jarvis Landry, watch him come in motion, take the underneath handoff, and it goes right around Trent Murphy. Good block out there by... Here's Jordan Cameron with a good block, but also Lamar Miller did a nice job of cutting down the secondary.
First and goal for the Dolphins. Miami looking for the lead. Tannehill looks, Tannehill throws, incomplete. Cameron the intended target, and a flag down. And a matchup with the linebacker Robinson.
And it appears that it's going to be against Robinson. He will knock down Cameron coming off the line of scrimmage. Man-to-man coverage here. There's the grab with the right hand. That gets the call, the penalty flag. Knocked the ball away with his left hand, but you cannot wrap around and pull the receiver with the offhand.
So it remains first and goal, inch a little bit closer. 6 offensive linemen here for Miami. Jeff Linkenbach is in.
Yeah, the way the Dolphins are running the ball here in the second half, and especially lately, that just continue to feature Lamar Miller.
On first and goal. Fake it. Tannehill flushed out. Tannehill throws underneath. Landry doesn't go down on first contact, but he will be brought down. Eventually, it's D'Angelo Hall.
That's a poor choice by Tannehill here. After his initial receiver was covered, he's got to throw this ball away. They use a lot. They lose 7 yards on that play, back to the 10-yard line. Now that limits the play selection here. But remember, Jordan Cameron, 6'5", athletic former basketball player, is a real inviting target.
Second and goal now, just outside the 10. Tannehill. Fake it. Tannehill to run. Tannehill stacked up and hit hard along the sideline. Ryan Tannehill's got skills with his legs, but he's vulnerable.
Yeah, D'Angelo Hall and Perry Riley Jr. there. With Riley with the big hit right to the side of the helmet of Ryan Tannehill.
9th play of the drive. This is a third and goal now from the 5. Under 13 minutes to play in the 4th. Washington up by 3. 5 receivers set. Motion man is Miller. Now loops to the backfield. Play clock is winding down. Tannehill sets. He throws. The play is whistled dead. Flag is thrown.
Yep,
delay.
You saw it, Ian.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, it took the Dolphins a lot of time. Once Tannehill was tackled on that option play he just ran, the clock starts, and they did not get back to the huddle, did not get the play in, and Tannehill at the line of scrimmage took too much time.
It's a third and goal. Tannehill fires underneath, hauled in by Landry, but well short. Justin Rogers with the stick. 6-yard pickup, and the field goal unit is coming on for the Dolphins.
Yeah, down in the 3-yard line. That's where they were when Landry ran the fly sweep.
That's right.
And that poor decision to throw the pass to Landry, where he lost 7 yards, really put the Dolphins in a bad position.
So it is Andrew Franks, the biomedical engineering major out of RPI. 22-yard attempt for the tie. He's got it. We're all knotted up, 10 apiece, 11:34 to go in the 4th. Back to FedEx Field in a moment. 10 plays, 77 yards. At times, Miami looked in sync once again offensively, but they don't finish the deal. They settled for the field goal and the tie at 10-10.
Yeah, finally got Lamar Miller loose a couple of times. A good fly sweep to Jarvis Landry, then a poor decision by Tannehill, not throwing the ball away when they had the ball on the 3-yard line.
So after the short field goal by Franks, he will kick it off to Chris Thompson, the deep man for Washington. Booming kick. Thompson will take the knee, and the Redskins on offense when we come back. Kirk Cousins getting some encouragement from RG3. Redskins looking for the W on opening day. On August 28th, Redskins president Bruce Allen was on hand for the dedication of a new field at Parkview High School in Sterling, Virginia. The Washington Redskins Charitable Foundation partnered with the NFL Foundation and the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors to fund $1 million for the multi-sport field. Prior to Lakeview's season opener, a Play 60 mini combine was held for youngsters attending the game. This has been a huge initiative for Daniel Snyder and the Washington Redskins organization, and really around the league, getting out in the community and helping teach football the right way. Right now the focus is on Kirk Cousins and whether or not he can turn this into a positive story in the season opener. Alfred Morris, his ability to truck defenders at a penalty marker.
And then Derek Carrier with the hold. Another violent collision at the end of this play. Low man wins, and Bryce McCain goes on his wallet here. One thing the Dolphins have done a good job is containing Morris. He had 82 yards on 17 carries in the first half, just 14 yards on 3 carries here in the second.
10 penalties, 83 yards against the Redskins. Cousins, it's dropped. Andre Roberts, the intended receiver. It's now going to be 2nd and 20 for Washington.
Yeah, 2 negative plays here now to start this drive for the Redskins. The holding and now a drop pass was clearly catchable.
Overall, what have you seen from Kirk Cousins?
Well, I like his poise so far, but when you're backed up here, things kind of speed up for the quarterback. We'll see how he handles that in this pass rush.
And playing without Deshaun Jackson, who left early with a hamstring injury. 2nd and 20, pitch it to Morris. Now it's there, Morris bangs to the outside for 2. Chased down by Derek Shelby. Shalani Jenkins in on the hit, and
this type of play selection here shows me Jay Gruden's a little bit less than confident in his offense, ability. Late flag.
It's Morgan Moses. Unnecessary roughness. This was Moses, who was out earlier, came back in at right tackle.
Well, left side of the screen, he's going to take Bryce McCain all the way to the sidelines. I would tell Morgan, hey, pick on some of your own size.
McCain 5'9", 190. Moses 6'6", 318. And it's 3rd and 24. That's 11 penalties now against Washington.
And you can see how loose the Dolphins secondary is as they're going to rush 4 and drop 7.
Washington not going to take any chances here. They give it up to Jones. Penalty marker came down right away at the 6-yard line. And another one on the far side at the 11. Yeah, there's no doubt Washington's squeamish right now at this area of the field. It's all going to be decline. I think we have a short in the microphone there for Walt Coleman.
Yeah, and I think that Jay Gruden may have a short fuse here as his team continues to self-destruct here in the 4th quarter. And That old momentum swinging over to Joe Philbin's side.
Well, look, this was not the area probably to try it, but at some point, if you're Washington, you are going to have to try to open things up offensively if you get the opportunity to do it. Tress Way punting to Jarvis Landry. Miami has tied this game at 10. Landry's got plenty of room. Landry to cut. Landry! Jarvis Landry, it's a foot race, and Landry will take it all the way. Touchdown, Dolphins! 69 yards. Dynamic return.
You said how much room he had when he caught the ball. The coverage nowhere near him. Look, 20 yards away from Landry. And then it's a middle return. Just the punter to beat. The speed now by Landry, and it's all over.
Dan, it is rare on a punt return that you see a player completely untouched. Nothing. No contact.
And especially on a middle return where you're running right through the heart of the coverage team.
Jarvis Landry is a difference maker. And he has just had an impact on special teams. Extra point from Franks. It's 17-10. Dolphins. This game has shifted quickly. Landry takes it the distance. They've talked about team unity. They've talked about toughness. Everybody believing Miami in front in the fourth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX. FedEx, solutions that matter. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
We're in the fourth quarter. Miami's got a 17-10 lead over Washington. Yeah, take all the oxygen you need. If you're Jarvis Landry, you just made the play of the game on a punt return for a touchdown. 69 yards. Andrew Franks will kick it off to Chris Thompson. Thompson now with a head of steam. Thompson weaving through traffic, getting to the outside, and angled out of bounds. 41-yard return for Thompson.
As we go back to the 54-yard punt by Tress Way, you can see once Landry makes this catch, there are two Redskins 22 yards or more away from him. So the 54-yard punt with very little hang time results in a 69-yard touchdown return for Landry.
Very confident out of LSU. Odell Beckham got all the attention last year, and Landry and Beckham are very close. And Beckham has said, don't fall asleep on Jarvis Landry. A gift for Morris. And again, this Washington offense is going very conservative. Picks up a couple. A new era in late night has begun. Don't miss The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tomorrow, Stephen's got Emily Blunt. And Tuesday, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Only CBS. Morris goes over 100 yards, 22 for 101. Cousins airing it out a bit. A little bit offline. Nice adjustment there by Roberts. And they will give him a clean catch at the 44. Brent Grimes put pressure on Cousins. 18-yard pass play.
A great anticipation by the quarterback. Cousins, fantastic catch on the other end by Andre Roberts. Grimes forced that poor throw. Great adjustment by Roberts.
Washington in Miami territory at the 44. Cousins quickly getting Jordan Reed involved. He's out of bounds.
But that's a little bit more like it. That's the way the Redskins started the game with their passing game. Getting the ball out quickly on a three-step drop. Positive play on first down as they're moving into Dolphin territory.
Reed just limped to the Washington sideline. He appears to be okay. So it's Derek Carrier in for him on a 2nd and 7 now. Under 9 minutes to go in the 4th. Play fake. Cousins hits his man, Ryan Grant. The second-year wideout from Tulane. First down, 15 yards through the air.
Yeah, it's a post route, and it's run well by Grant. You see the coverage on the far side of the field here, but the reception by Grant. Good timing here. Again, it's the second time they've run that little play action where they fake the ball to the tailback, and Cousins gets it out quickly.
So new set of downs for Washington. See what Cousins has done his last 10 pass attempts. And that one goes right through the hands of Roberts.
He's saying that the sun got in his eyes. Well, that's a good excuse, but I'm not going to buy it. And I don't think the coaches are either. Took his eye off the ball.
So 2nd and 10 now for Washington. 8:06 to play in the 4th.
You can see the shadows there, but the shadows don't line up with where the ball was coming from.
Work out of the gun. They're going to lose yards. That's considered a backwards pass that went out of bounds. A 3-yard loss. Cousins sets it up. Into traffic. Incomplete. Reed looking for a flag. Rashad Jones had a beat on him. Michael Thomas back there as well for Miami.
Well, remember Rashad Jones was beat by Reed for the touchdown. This time he covers a lot of ground from his safety spot, coming all the way over to help out on that long pass play. Michael Thomas there on the man-to-man, and then the help from his safety.
3rd and 13 for Washington. They trail 17-10. Shotgun. Cousins airs it out. Jump ball. Oh, what a play by McCain. Intercepted. Bryce McCain. What an effort. Turnover, Washington.
I'm sure this one's going to be reviewed here, whether he had possession before he goes out of bounds. He's got it right there, but I'm not sure he has it the entire way to the ground. The effort is there as he takes it away from Garcon, has it pinned to his shoulder. It appeared the ball moved slightly. Boy, I don't know. You know, he does not have to have his feet down if his backside goes down first. If the backside's inbounds, the ball possessed. I got to believe that's Miami ball at the 2-yard line.
Bryce McCain came over from Pittsburgh. He played the nickel during his days in Houston and in Pittsburgh. And that is a clean INT. It pins Miami deep. Give it to Miller, creating some space. Miller takes it to the 9.
Yeah, it looked like Jay Gruden had the red challenge flag in his hand, too. Surprised he didn't throw it. And at least have the officials upstairs take a look at it, but you won't see a better effort, that is a real theft there as he took that ball away from Garcon.
Jeff Linkenbach is in as an extra offensive lineman on a 2nd and 3. Trying to use up some clock. And he'll set up 3rd down. Lamar Miller on the carry. I want to welcome those of you who are watching Kansas City and Houston. 17-10, Miami leading Washington here in the 4th quarter. Jarvis Landry, 69-yard punt return for a touchdown, the difference. Washington had the lead, playing well in the first half. Miami had a tough time finding its footing. But here they are, up on the scoreboard with possession and facing a 3rd and 1. With 6:25 left in the 4th. Cameron, the motion man. Tannehill doesn't hand it off. Instead throws to the sideline. It's caught. Rashard Matthews, who had a touchdown earlier, still going, stumbling down. They might mark him back down at the 20. And they will, but it will be enough for a Miami first down.
Really good patience by Tannehill, buying time, rolling out. Wanted to go to Jordan Cameron first. but his outlet receiver Matthews working the sidelines beautifully.
Kirk Cousins intercepted twice here today, getting the start. First time he's ever been the opening day starter in the NFL. Now in his 4th year with the Redskins. So much drama during the offseason surrounding this organization. Give it up to Miller. Yeah, not much there. Miller hit by Jason Hatcher. But Miami's using clock.
Well, that's right, Ian. This is what they have to do here with the ground game, is feature Miller. Been a lot better second half for the Dolphins rushing attack. But you want to keep that clock rolling.
It's a 2nd and 8 now for Miami. They lead by 7 with 5:20 to go. Play fake. Tannehill sets. He fires. And offline, Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and he was open. It's not too late to play NFL.com Fantasy. Join draft and play from anywhere with the new and improved mobile app. Sign up free at NFL.com/fantasy. Huge play here on a 3rd and 8 for the Dolphins. Tannehill on 3rd down. He's 7 of 8, 73 yards, 4 first downs, and they're looking for another one. Tannehill. It's hit at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Miami will punt. And Washington very much alive with 5:08 remaining. Jason Hatcher once again getting in there, and this time Ryan Kerrigan with the penetration and the back down.
That's the 2nd time. Watch Kerrigan here as he gets inside Juwan James. Great effort there with the left hand. Perfect timing to knock that ball away.
Matt Darr punting it for the 4th time in his NFL debut. Jamison Crowder in his first game as a pro, waiting for it at the 25. Moving forward, fair catch called for, and Crowder's got it at the 31. That's where the Redskins will take over after the 47-yard punt. Miami 17, Washington 10. Jay Gruden made the decision to go with Kirk Cousins as his starting quarterback. Cousins got off to a good start here today. Second half possessions, though, has been a struggle offensively for Washington. This is a 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Cousins up in the air. Incomplete. Looking for Garcon. And it's Jamar Taylor who makes the play defensively. Tannehill's numbers, 21 of 33, 205 yards and a touchdown. Cousins has been picked off twice, 166 yards and a touchdown to Reed.
And the loss of Deshaun Jackson back in the 1st quarter really has handicapped this passing attack here in the 2nd half.
Well, once again, work out of the gun. Cousins fires it to Andre Roberts. Catch is made. He's got a 1st down to the 45, 14 yards. Cousins to Roberts.
Well, Cousins has spread it around effectively today. 7 different receivers he has targeted. A lot of time, all 3 timeouts, no hurry. Just make sure you get the call right, get everybody lined up correctly.
Kirk Cousins was a captain at Michigan State, a leader of that football team. Jay Gruden told him, you've earned the right to be in this spot. Up the middle for Alfred Morris. Steamrolls his way to an 8-yard pickup. Good block from Trent Williams for Washington. We'll hit 4 minutes to play in the 4th.
Yeah, better rhythm now for the Redskins offense, going back at just pounding the ball straight at the Dolphin defense. That's where they had most of their success in the 1st half.
In the offseason, Cousins did work with Jay's brother John Gruden. Because of the rules, not being able to work with your own coaches during the offseason, Cousins took advantage of that relationship. And he throws a strike to Garcon. It's a 1st down to the 36-yard line. And he just said, bottom line, I needed to sit in a room with someone who knows more football than I do. It was fantastic. I learned so much, and I came back to the team with confidence that I could do this job and do it at a high level.
Yeah, paid his own way down there, and instead of going on vacation, he learned and worked at his craft.
Give it to Morris. Good cut by Morris. And dishing out some physicality along the sideline. 13-yard rip. Let's go to New York, JB and Boomer.
Ian, speaking of a high level, Seattle's D.
Turn your back on the defense. Here comes Kerry Williams, a corner blitz away from the play action pass. This is a triple whammy, JB. Sack, fumble, TD by Seattle. They take the lead 31-24 over the Rams.
Back to the triple announcers, Ian, Dan, and Evan.
That's smooth. That's considered a very smooth segue in our business. First and 10 for Washington, inside the 25. Redskins are threatening. They trail by 7. Morris, nothing there. Area got bunched together by Miami defenders. It's a loss of 1 on the play. We are under 3 minutes to play now. Morris, 25 carries, 120 yards. And he will head to the Washington sideline. Chris Thompson is in. 4 receiver set. Cousins, shotgun. Cousins tosses it underneath to Jordan Reed. Reed fights for extra yardage, working against the safety Michael Thomas, and they pick up 4 on the play.
Now Reed, the leading receiver for the Redskins this afternoon. That's 7 catches now for 63 yards. You can see how big and strong he is as he gave Michael Thomas all he could handle.
3rd and 7 now. 2:27 to go. Washington down by 7 at home against Miami. A team that won 4 games last year. Cousins steps up. Cousins offline. Incomplete. Chris Thompson, the intended receiver. And now on 4th down.
Yeah, decision time for Jay Gruden. Sending in an extra tight end, Derek Carrier. Down by 7.
You got to go for it here.
Absolutely. And the Dolphins have got to keep their eye on Pierre Garçon. And they're going to talk about it at the sidelines. Wise move by the Redskins to call timeout, gather their thoughts about this big play.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Furious 7. One crew, one last ride on Blu-ray and DVD September 15th. And by a Subway footlong. There's nothing bigger, nothing better. Subway, eat fresh.
It's a 4th and 7 now for the Washington Redskins. What are you thinking if you're Jay Gruden?
Well, I think you've got a couple of options here. Obviously, here is the tight end, Jordan Reed. But now they flank out Chris Thompson outside him to take away the double coverage on Reed.
Here's your ball game for the Redskins. Trying to stay alive. Cousins, blitz coming. Unloads. Incomplete. Reed, the intended target. And the Redskins turn it over on downs. Cousins dealing with a lot of heat from the Miami defense.
Well, Kevin Coyle, defensive coordinator, bringing the heat right up the middle. You see Jenkins, you see Misi. Fade is free, and miscommunication with Reed. Cousins not having enough time to let him work down the field. Better off that ball is not intercepted, as the Dolphins will take over at the 20 instead of inside the 5.
Well, here's the good news if you're Washington. You have the 2-minute warning, and you've got a couple of timeouts with 2:17 left. For Miami, the goal is a 1st down. Lamar Miller. Nowhere to go. Robinson there defensively. And the clock will tick down to the 2-minute warning. So Redskins will have 2 timeouts remaining after a loss of 6 on the play for Miami. Dolphins nursing that 7-point lead. Week 1 continues later today on CBS and for some of you on Fox. Then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN. On 2nd and 16, a spin by Tannehill. He's got Miller, and Lamar Miller takes it across the 35. That's the one thing that could not happen if you're the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, it's a great call by Bill Lazor. You know the Redskins are becoming hard at the quarterback, so you draw them in after the play action fake, and then you throw the screen. You've got guys out in front. Pouncey, one of the best centers on the move, and how about Jamil Douglas, the rookie 4th-round pick way down the field, clearing the way for Lamar Miller.
Bill Lazor, so many weapons to work with on this Miami offense this season in the passing game with Landry and Stills, Jennings. We didn't even see Devontae Parker, the rookie out of Louisville, who they're very high on. Jordan Cameron. They lost Deion Sims to an apparent concussion. Lamar Miller on the ground. And Washington down to 1 timeout, a minute 48 to play. At best, they could get the ball back with seconds remaining. Miller brought down by Baker. And that's the final timeout used by the Redskins. 1:43 to play. Well, your weekend starts here with Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network as Peyton Manning and the Broncos take on Alex Smith and the Chiefs. Right here on your home of Super Bowl 50, CBS Sports.
For old AFL rivals.
Bring back some memories for you?
All bad. Arrowhead Stadium and Mile High Stadium?
No, you have some good memories there. No?
Well, give me a minute, see if I can find one.
All right.
Think of one.
Maybe after the game you can share it with us.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Text me your memories. A minute 43 to go. There's Miller. You just want to make sure you secure the football at this point. Jason Hatcher will get credit for the tackle. And now Washington cannot stop the clock. We're down to a minute 27 and counting left. And 27 seconds on the play clock. So 3rd and 8. Tannehill and the Dolphins taking their time and looking to get out of Landover with a W.
Yeah, it was not pretty, but it is going to be a W unless some disaster happens for Miami.
And they use the timeout just before the play clock expires. Just under a minute to play. Stay tuned. NFL Today update presented by FanDuel. Time permitting. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower. Latest NFL scores and highlights coming up. So the Dolphins will be at Jacksonville in week 2. You've got Buffalo on the schedule, the Jets, Tennessee, and the Houston Texans. Those are the quarterbacks that Miami will face first 6 weeks.
Yeah, Tyrod Taylor, though. I think we're going to give him a W, aren't we?
I think we are. That's a win for Tyrod Taylor and the Buffalo Bills over Indianapolis to start the Rex Ryan era. 3rd and 8. It's Miller. Lamar Miller fighting. Takes it across the 45. And it is enough for a first down, and that'll seal the deal.
That's an impressive run by Lamar Miller. Not only the effort to get the first down, but securing the ball throughout the run in traffic. And Dan Marino celebrating.
Running through arm tackles, Miller has put this one on ice. Dolphins fans traveled well here to the Washington, D.C. area, and they'll go home happy. It is a first down, and it's over. In a season with high expectations for the Miami Dolphins, they will get off on the right note. For the Washington Redskins, improvement? That's the question. Can they improve? The roster's certainly better than it was a year ago under GM Scott McCloughan. Will it translate to wins?
I think they got to be happy with the performance of their quarterback today. A couple of interceptions. One was just a spectacular catch by Bryce McCain, but just one offensive touchdown for both these teams in a 17-10 Miami win.
If you're the Miami Dolphins, a win is a win. Season opener, they take it 17-10 over the Washington Redskins. Washington will be home for St. Louis in week 2. The Dolphins will be in Jacksonville. Final score, Miami 17, Washington 10. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, I'm Ian Eagle saying so long from Landover, Maryland. Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader, the Ravens and the Broncos, Titans and the Bucks, the Bengals and the Raiders. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.